He'll take a peek to the inside. Slide him high off the corner.
Here's contact there in turn 1 and 2. Oh my goodness, Hassler has it out front. They bang towards.
Tonight, a track we all wish we could have back. It's IRWINDALE Speedway, the pride of California. 3 races left in the fight for the championship, and it's a close battle. You won't miss a moment here of the Misfit Touring Series presented by V-Speed. My name is Scott Shive, and I'm joined by Sky Shrek and our executive producer, Eddie Smith. So glad to have everyone here tonight here in this race at IRWINDALE Outer. This is the only track we've been to before, Sky, the repeat, but this time we're going to the outer track much longer than we had for the inner.
Yeah, the inner track was one of the best races of the season, I think. We had a really good one there. A lot of close racing. If IRWINDALE Outer is anything like IRWINDALE Inner, I think we're in for a really good one tonight.
Drivers ran here last year in Season 1 of the Misfit Touring Series, and I can say that they did put on quite a show. This track located in IRWINDALE, California. Half-mile oval here, progressive banking as well. 6 on the bottom, all the way up to 12 on the top. As everyone knows, this track opened in 1999 and sadly closed this past December in 2024. But do not fret, it lives on in the sim, and we're so glad to be here tonight at this outer ring because it is going to be a hot one. Drivers in qualifying right now. Qualifying has been completed, and no surprise, it'll be Kyle Terzak on the pole. But let's go through that schedule. Like I said, 3 races left here tonight at IRWINDALE Outer. We'll go to Thompson next weekend, and then we'll round out the championship at Langley for 200 laps. It is going to be a great one, and I could not be more excited about the final races we've got coming up here. And don't forget, when we end the championship, we will have that Triple Crown, so do not go anywhere just yet. But let's talk about these points as well, Sky, because oh my gosh, are they hot. We got some penalties coming into this week. Jake Sylvia got a 1-week probation, so he's still here tonight, but he had a 10-point deduction, so that has moved him down the standings. Meanwhile, Christian Peterson continues to prevail up top. Justin Crowe, both being so consistent. Terzak has now moved above Sylvia in that points battle, but he's still got some room to climb. He's about 100 points back from Peterson.
Yeah, and just look at that. Christian Peterson up there, #1 in points, doesn't have a win yet. That's how consistent he's been. He's been up there running top 5s, top 3s every week. Really done well in the point. Same with Justin Crowe, but he just hasn't broken through into the win column yet. He's got 3 more races to get it done, and I think he might have a good shot here tonight at IRWINDALE.
Fully agree. You can see those points right there. Jake Sylvia might be the only one that still has a chance at that championship, but it's not going to be likely. I think the battle's going to come down to Peterson, Crowe, and Terzak. But it's going to be hard to hold off Terzak here in this race. We're going to swing it down trackside for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
16 drivers make up the field tonight. We will not have any heat races this week here at IRWINDALE. We'll get straight into your 100-lap feature. It'll be Kyle Turzak that tops the standings in qualifying, then Cody Dempster to his outside. Then it'll be Corey Bodie and Christian Peterson in row number 2. Jake Sylvia in 5th. 6th will be the 7 of Deegan Smith. 7th and 8th will be Jake Grout and Kyle Adams. And rounding out that top 10 will be Alex Hallinar and Bob Belshaw. But let's not forget, there's a 10-car invert tonight, so that will be flipped, and we'll get you that in just a moment. Sky?
Following up from then, 11th place, just outside the invert's going to be one of our points leaders, Justin Crow. Trevor Ward rolls off 12th in the 16. Clayton Edwards, 13th in the 11. John Leday, 14th in the 22. And last 2 cars on the field tonight will be Teddy Wisniewski in the 97 and 15th. Anthony Ankello in the 79 and 16th.
Yeah, Wisniewski, I think he's making his second start of the Touring Series this season. You'll see drivers here getting their invert set. And we'll make sure that we get all that. That means Bob Belshaw will start from the pole. Alex Hallinar will start his outside. And Alex Hallinar, you know, a driver that has been very consistent. He's in the top 10 in points. He's made 12 starts so far this season, but he's only been able to finish in the top 10 3 times. So it's been a real struggle for him. I know that a lot of times he's been caught up in a lot of incidents, but he'll be starting there on the outside. As for Bob Belshaw, I know he's had 5 starts here in the Touring Series. He has yet to be able to get a finish in that top 10. So 2 drivers that have made some starts that haven't quite had the season they would have wanted to, starting up on the front row for this race. So they've got a great opportunity. And look who's in our outside, Sky. That's Jake Grout on the outside of row number 2.
I think he's going to go to the front pretty quick. Jake Grout is always aggressive in this series. We know that. Not only is he aggressive, but he tends to favor that higher line more than some of these other guys in the series do. So I think Jake Grout's got a great shot of shooting through that front row, getting to the lead pretty quickly. Race analysis, we're doing 100 laps tonight. Pit road speed 30 miles an hour. You get 1 faster pair, 1 extra set of tires, and we're running 16 drivers tonight. No heat races either. We're going straight to the feature for this one. Lights are off on the pace car.
It's going to be good one more time around for these drivers. 100 laps lie ahead of them. The question is, Turzak qualified on the pole. He'll start back from 10th, but can he break the tie between him and Jake Sylvia for most wins in a single season of the Misfit Touring Series? It'll all go to show tonight. 100 laps lie ahead of the drivers at IRWINDALE Speedway. They round it through turns 3 and 4 with Bob Belshaw, Alex Hallinar, your front row. Green flag is away here for the Misfit Touring Series at IRWINDALE Motor Speedway. Roaring down the back straightaway, Hallinar all the way to the top, Belshaw all the way down to the bottom. And excuse me, that will be Justin Crow. So Bob Belshaw didn't look like he started from the front. It will be Justin Crow running in that 86 car tonight. He'll move back up towards the front. Meanwhile, Jake Grout starting out in 4th, trying to move his way up towards the front with Crow. But Crow marching away for it. Hallinar battles for 2nd on the outside.
Look at how low some of these cars are running. They're using every available inch that is paved and then some. We're going all the way down on the apron under that white line. We're putting the left front on the grass if you're Jake Grout. Trying to make moves, car around, Deegan Smith at the back.
That was Deegan Smith in his number 15 machine, and we saw 3 wide. I think for a moment we saw almost 4 wide. And you talked about it, those different lines being run, that apron has no banking. So it's 0 degrees on the bottom, 6, then 12. We'll take a look back here from the perspective of Deegan Smith running on the inside of Kyle Adams here, and it happens inside of turn number 3. Contact there out of 2, but down here in turns 3, it looks like they're going to make contact on the exit of the corner as Kyle Adams comes down, Deegan Smith comes up, and yeah, they just make contact. I think Smith was maybe thinking that Adams was going to go up a little bit higher there, and he had a car on the outside.
Yeah, and that can be kind of the issue with running down on the apron as you try to rejoin the racing surface. It can be a bit difficult to kind of judge where you are in relation to everybody else, especially if you're 3 wide and you got a car running that middle, thinking that there's no one below him.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Bob Belshaw qualified in 10th, but he dropped to the end on that restart. So it was Justin Crowe that started on the pole for this race. So excuse me for that mishap. But Justin Crowe, another one of those drivers that we have talked about all season long. So gosh darn consistent. He has started in every single race this season. He has finished in the top 10 12 times, top 5s 9 times. It goes to show why he is running second in these championship points.
Yeah, he didn't set a qualifying lap, but he was still the second fastest car in the field in practice, only behind Kyle Terzak, who was our fastest car in qualifying. Crowe's got a lot of speed. He does pretty much every week here. I'd expect him to be able to stay up front. I don't think he's going to fall back. He's going to be a driver to watch later in this race.
Well, we saw him 2 weekends ago at Oswego, almost getting the win. Ham and Terzak battled heavily for that win, and Crowe just did not have it at the end. He was saying he had such a tight car that Terzak let around him. So really, he's out front again, and we saw when he was out front at Oswego that he was able to hold that lead until Terzak came marching through. So can that 86 machine of Justin Crowe hold it out front this time? It'll be Jake Grout to his outside this time around. Then it's Jake Sylvia on the inside, Alex Hallinar on the outside of row number 2. Pace car pulls down to pit lane. They're going to go far and wide here into turn number 1. Who will go to the top? Who will go to the bottom? Justin Crowe, Jake Grout on the front row here. Let's get him restarted. Green flag is away.
A little bit of a checkup there on the outside for Jake Grout. I don't think that lane got going like he would have liked, and that'll put Jake Sylvia to the point on the inside. Oh, big loose out of the corner for Grout. He's still loose, still in the fence. He's going to go all the way up in the marbles, and he's still loose in 4.
3 wide out of turn number 4. Jake Grout trying to ring it around the top side. That opens the door for Jake Sylvia. He'll get the run. Grout can pull the crossover down to the inside in turn number 3. That'll put him side by side for second. Sylvia and Grout.
Man, I don't think Grout's car was designed to run that high up on the racetrack, but he made it work. He was drifting for about 3 straight corners there before he got it down to the apron, and he's still running side by side with Sylvia, but Sylvia has a better car on that top line, and that's helping him keep this battle going for second.
You can see this guy, how much momentum he gets off that corner. Grout moves the high side. Corey Bodie moving down to the low line, trying to get to the inside of Grout. Not going to be able to make it work there. He'll dive back to the inside here, and right behind him, that's Kyle Terzak. They're both trying to work through here on the bottom side. Jake Sylvia has now gotten away and look forwards to hunt down Justin Crowe. Meanwhile, Corey Bodie to the inside of Grout. Looks like that bottom line working a little bit better right now.
I'll tell you, with Jake Grout running all the way up there on the top, we've seen him get really loose a couple times. That is going to bite him when it comes down to tire wear at the end of this race. You saw a couple cars get loose. I think Bodie just got loose there too out of the corner. It can be, whoa, a little bit of contact with Jake Grout, and Grout's into the tire barrier, but he somehow keeps it going.
I think he missed the tire barrier by less than a foot there. Him and Corey Bodie battling it out for second position. Cross noses there. Nose to rear end did not work. And that almost, we'll take an instant replay here from drivertees.com. Take a look at it down the back straightaway. Grout continuing to run at that high line. And here off the corner, might have gotten a little loose. Corey Bodie comes up. Oh my gosh, look at how close he gets the tire barrier. Barely misses it, locks up that left front, so going to have a little bit more tire wear than he would have liked. He has fallen back here. Let's look on my screen. He's fallen back to 7th. So from 3rd to 7th after that incident with Corey Bodie.
Well, yeah, as I was saying, I don't think that'll help Jake Grout's tire wear as we head into this race. All these drivers getting loose off the corner like he is and having to wheel it back to the right is really going to overheat those tires, and it's going to cost him towards the end of the run when he doesn't have as much in the tank.
Definitely, that battle here now is for 3rd between Bodie and Cody Dempster. Dempster making his 6th start of the series, 3 top 5s and 5 top 10s. Dempster trying to get back at it, and look at that car on the top line trying to enter the picture. It's Christian Peterson pulling the crossover, jumps down to the inside of Cody Dempster. This is the battle for 5th.
Peterson started out back in 9th with that invert, but he's got it working pretty well right now. Running the top, running the bottom. He seems to be making pretty good time up high because he's able to get that run out of the corner. He'll stay on the top in 1 and 2. He's got a car that looks a little more designed to run up there compared to Jake Grout, who we've seen drifted about every time he's tried it.
Yeah, this touring series sets up for open setups, so you can run your car in a lot of different setups for this race, however, whether you want to run the bottom or run the top. But I think you said it best, Sky. We're going to have to see how that will handle these cars. A bit of a moment between Bodie and Peterson while caution flies further back on the speedway. Looks like that is, let's see, that is Clayton Edwards in his number 2. Might have had some contact with the 44 of Belshaw.
Yeah, I see at least 4 cars involved in that accident. Jake Grout was stopped down on the inside
it
as well.
started with Grout.
So that would have started. Yeah, that would have started around 7th or 8th there, kind of in the mid-pack, and then spiraled on back. We're going to get the DriverTees.com replay here. This is Jake Grout. He's racing with Kyle Adams for 7. Hallinar is right behind this, along with Ward. Oh, a little bit of contact from Adams, and yeah, spirals from there. Hallinar involved, gets rear-ended by Edwards back there.
And that's another deal. We talked about it. Alex Hallinar just has not had good luck here in the touring series, and another incident that he is an innocent bystander in. You saw after the contact between Adams and Grout, that sent them sideways. Hallinar had nowhere to go, got into Adams. And then you saw Deegan Smith got a little bit of that as well, and so did Bob Belshaw, and I believe it was Clayton Edwards. So a lot of cars involved there in that incident.
And Alex Hallinar has opted to claim that caution there. So he'll go to the back. I think he would have been about at the back anyway for that one.
Yeah, I think he would have as well. I'm surprised to see him claim that. I would have imagined it would have been Adams, but hey, Adams might have caught himself a little bit of a lucky break there, not having to claim that caution. So 24 laps in the books. They'll come around this time under caution. Will be a 4th of the way through this race. And let's talk about this guy, because we didn't get to talk about it in pre-race. So we opened it up a little bit last time we had our caution around. But let's talk about these different lines, because this is one of those diverse tracks that you do not see cars go so far and wide and so much room to race.
Yeah, this is a really wide racetrack. You've seen it all throughout this race. Cars are running down on the apron. I've seen a couple put the left front in the grass trying to make time. You can run it towards the middle. You can try to make time by running the very top, because the banking is 12 degrees on the top and it's only 6 on the bottom. You can go anywhere here and you can probably find some sort of speed.
Well, it's 6 on the bottom, but even that doesn't even count the apron down there. It's 0 degrees. It's Crow and Sylvia that make up your front row this time by. Crow has dominated so far. Can he keep it that way to the end? Green flag out into turn number 1. Sylvia moves to the outside. Will this open the door for Kyle Turzak?
Sylvia's pushing hard on the top. Wasn't able to get it right there. He's going to go down to the bottom line, which sounds crazy to describe as the top. But that's how low Crow is on the racetrack. He's going to go back up to the middle now in 1 and 2. All of these cars are under a blanket, and Jake Sylvia has the speed. Big contact down into 3. We keep it straight for the lead.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how they didn't get each other around right there. Now Kyle Turzak moved up to the high line. He's going to throw it all the way down to the bottom to try to carry that momentum. He won't be able to. He'll stay in third. Body there on the outside, going to get a little bit of a shove to that 15, but it's still side by side between the 86 and the 1 for this lead. The first challenge Justin Crowe has had all day long.
And Kyle Turzak, winner of 7 races this season, always has speed. He's lurking back there in third right now with a great chance to try to jump through for the lead, but he can't because this battle with Crowe and Sylvia is still ongoing, and Sylvia will finally get clear of the 86 on the top.
Now 86 gets a little bit of a run on the bottom, but it's not going to be enough with that great momentum on the high side. New leader, the one of Jake Sylvia. Meanwhile, Turzak going for it on the bottom side for second with Justin Crowe. The door is going to be open here into turn number 1. You'll see Turzak go all the way to the bottom, the 86 of Crowe into the middle. Gonna have that great momentum. And here the battle for fourth between Bodie and Dempster. These cars are fighting hard up towards the front.
There's so many different lines being ran, and everyone's so tight. We're bump drafting like it's Daytona. Justin Crowe going to the back. He's going to lose about 2 positions and maybe 3 because Christian Peterson is coming after him as well. Turzak up to second. It's Cody Dempster on the very bottom looking through for a third. We're still side by side now for 5th. It's Bodie and Peterson.
Yeah, you saw Bodie there, got into the back of Crowe, and then that got him into the back of Turzak. And that just doesn't work in these late model stocks. You lift up those rears as a caution flies on lap 33. But I can't believe we didn't have it earlier with that moment of the bump draft. But it's 57 of Alex Hallinar involved again, and it just, man, the luck just, he has not had it all season long. We'll check out our drivertees.com replay here, running on the outside of Jake Grout. This was a battle back right outside of the top 10. And check out what happened here. Hallinar, oh yeah, just coming up the track is Grout. They make contact, and that spins the 57 around. The 57 did claim that last one we talked about, but here Jake Grout will claim this caution, so that will send that 49 car to the rear.
Yeah, contact there. It's not been a good race for Hallinar. It's not been a good race for Jake Grout either, who started right up there in 4th and has summarily gone to the back. It hasn't been great for him 35 laps in.
Yeah, and now it looks like 14 cars are here that made the field. We had 16 earlier. Some of them did not join up in the grid. So it's 14 cars. So Alex Hallinar really trying to get that top 10 tonight, with only 4 drivers will not have a top 10. So he's trying to do that. But Jake Sylvia took the lead on the high side, and I've really got to wonder how that high side is affecting these drivers' tires, Sky.
Well, I think it's going to be really interesting. Obviously, the low line is what you would think as the best tire line because it's the shortest way around the racetrack. But it can also kind of burn them because you're running them on a flat surface down there. There's less banking for the tires to grip onto. I think it's going to be really interesting. I'm going to imagine that we'll see pit stops for tires tonight, but I think that'll come a little bit after halfway into this race.
I would have to agree with you. I think these drivers are going to want tires. Now, we've seen Kyle Turzak be able to stay out on old tires before and still get it done. So some drivers might have that option to try to stretch this run all the way to the end. We'll just have to see how it will play out. We'll keep you up to date on who is coming to the pits. I think so far we've had Deegan Smith come into the pits and Kyle Adams. That was all for fast repairs. They have used theirs, so no tires taken yet. It's Turzak on the inside of Sylvia. Sylvia chooses the outside, leaves the door open for Turzak on the inside. How will it commence down into turn number 1 into lap 38?
Well, it's a good jump for Turzak. He's going to just barely get clear of Sylvia, who tries to cross him over and nearly gets caught up by Cody Dempster there in 3rd. Sylvia's going to stay high so he can run him up the track on entry, and that lets Dempster send it straight down to the bottom. We're still 3 wide across the start-finish line. Oh, my goodness.
Dempster gets Turzak sideways and puts Turzak up into Sylvia. Sylvia sideways. He's going to save it somehow, but the caution still flies. And oh, my goodness, you saw Turzak peek that hole between Sylvia and Dempster, and then Dempster gets into Turzak. That got him into Sylvia. And you see Sylvia there frustrated with Terzak, but what he doesn't know is that that all started down from Dempster.
What a battle that was. I am shocked that we didn't see anybody wrecked into the fence there. Look at the DriverTees.com replay. Sylvia's fully sideways with Terzak leaning on the nose of Cody Dempster. Somehow everybody makes it out okay.
Yeah, that's trouble. Just because Dempster on the bottom, Terzak trying to save it, trying to keep it off of Sylvia. Then he corrects Sylvia to keep him straight here. And when you see a lot of drivers do that, Sky, you'll see that their right front gets damaged. And if you look along with Terzak, he does have that right front damage at this moment.
Yeah, look at just on the top there. Corey Bodie snuck his way through that accident while everything was happening under him. He went all the way up to the top, made it through, and he's going to be the leader of this race once we get restarted.
Yeah, Corey Bodie, another one of those drivers in the number 44. This is his 5th start of the season. He's done very well for himself. He's finished in the top 10 every race he has competed in, and 3 out of the 4 of those times he's been in the top 5, has yet to be able to get that win. And so that pink and, or well, I say pink, it's purple, that purple and orange and white machine, Corey Bodie is trying to take to victory lane. Look along with his driver camera here. He started up in, well, after the invert, it would have been, I believe, 7th. And so he has made his way up through the field. He's capitalized on others' mistakes, trying to keep it out here out front for that win. Kyle Terzak did claim the caution, so that will put Terzak all the way from 2nd back to 13th, Sky. He's already made his way basically through half this field once. He's going to have to come from the back, and he's got less time to do it.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge for him. When we saw that in-car for Bodie, I don't think I've ever seen anyone's hands move that fast on iRacing before, as he tried to not only keep it straight, but get through that accident. New look top 3. It's going to be Bodie, Dempster, Sylvia. They're going to come out of turn 4, and the pace car is off. Green flag back out.
Back away here. Bodie will get it out with a nice run. Dempster slides up in a second. Big time loose moment for Jake Sylvia off of turn 4. Able to collect it and keep it straight. That opens the door for Christian Peterson on the bottom side. Dempster tried to challenge for the lead, was not able to get the run. He takes it to the high side. Meanwhile, we're about to be 3 wide for that second. Justin Crowe backs out, but this continues to be Christian Peterson and Jake Sylvia battling it out. Look at how sideways Peterson is there, and look at it. It's Justin Crowe. He's going to get Peterson sideways. He's down to the inside wall. Caution.
Christian Peterson turned around in front of the field there. We're going to have a yellow on that one. Flap 46, and I believe that is our 4th or 5th caution of the night.
Oh my goodness, I saw it all happening at one moment. Saw Justin Crowe here makes a big move to the inside here while Sylvia and Peterson are battling, but as he comes up out of the corner, he's going to get into Peterson as they were 3 wide, and here just couldn't keep off of him. Turns Peterson down to the inside wall, making minimal contact.
Yeah, you can see it one more time here. We're going to go in car on the onboard here of Justin Crowe. He's all the way down on that bottom line trying to get speed. Those drivers trying to use that apron. And yeah, it just comes up, clips Christian Peterson. Maybe the same thing that happened with Deegan Smith earlier, where it's kind of hard to keep track of where you are and where everybody else is on the racetrack when you're so far on the bottom.
Yeah, it's really difficult to know when you're 3 wide like that. It really compromises your exit, especially when you run the bottom like that. Right now, no one claimed the caution yet, so it might be determined a racing deal in post-race. Have to see that one until next week. Big thanks to Steve Charles, our race control tonight here for the Touring Series. And look at this. We've got some drivers coming down pit road. Jake Grout has come down pit road. Sylvia has come down pit road, as well as Christian Peterson. So not surprised to see Grout and Peterson in this time, but Sylvia comes all the way from the front to get some tires.
Yeah, well, we're about halfway through the race now. Lap 49 out of 100. If you want to split it in 2, this is the best chance you're going to get to do that. Only a couple cars coming down, though, at the front. Corey Bodie, Cody Dempster, both still out there. Deegan Smith as well. kind of in a different boat because he's already used his fast repair, so he's going to have to race a little more cautiously than some of the other guys up there.
Yeah, Deegan Smith in that number 15, going to have to be careful. Doesn't have that fast repair to bank on this time. Lights out on the pace car, this time through turn 2. It'll be Dempster and Bodie making up the front row yet again. And it's so interesting. Bodie has on the back of his spoiler, it looks like what would be a hypnosis style paint scheme to try to distract drivers. And I think that's definitely hilarious. He'll be on the outside this time, controlling the race. Dempster on the inside. They enter the restart zone. This time around, it'll be 50 complete on to 51, halfway in the Touring Series race at Irwindale Outer.
It's a pretty equal jump there. Dempster did a really good job of hanging around on the top as Bodie continues to go for it on the bottom. Now, Bodie's got the advantage down into 1. That'll get him clear of Dempster. Look at all those drivers making big sense to the inside. Justin Crowe among them. Were 3 wide for 5th.
3 wide for 5th position. You'll see it's a 16 of Trevor Ward, then Adams, then Turzak. Turzak falls into line, putting him side by side with Anthony Yankello. 86 of Crowe trying to battle for that 3rd spot with the 15 of Smith, but still 2 by 2 back here for 5th and for 7th.
Yankello started last. Haven't heard much from him this race, but he's up to 8th now, staying out on that caution, looking to make up some time. Back up front, Deegan Smith challenging for P2. He's looking with Cody Dempster. 024 is going to get the run on the top, and that might help Justin Crowe start a battle with that 15 car.
It is going to make him pull through. You see that high line just has such great momentum. It's so difficult to battle sometimes on that low line. You'll see Deegan Smith falling here back into 4th where he started. So single file for your top 5. And I think it goes even further back to 6th, 7th, 8th. First battle is for 8th back here between Clayton Edwards and Anthony Yankello. Looking along here with Kyle Adams. He's running in that 5th spot right now, trying to hunt down that 15 of Deegan Smith. And you see Crowe right in front of them, trying to battle with Dempster.
And hey, look who's back up into 6th after taking an EOL and going to the back of the field. It's Kyle Turzak. He's right back up into this thing.
Kyle Turzak, one of those drivers that I would say is inevitable. Always able to make his way back up through the field. The only time he wasn't able to was when he had big damage at the bull ring and was 3 laps down. Long as he's on the lead lap, he is a threat. You cannot get cozy with him sitting behind you. Kyle Adams trying to block it out and hunt down that of Deegan Smith. But Corey Bodie out there with a half a second lead, but Dempster slowly trying to close back in.
Yeah, we're single file up here for most of the field with the exception of Kyle Turzak, who's ringing it all the way around the apron, trying to pick up a little bit of time on Kyle Adams. He's still running down there, not quite as low in 1 and 2. I think that top line is just the spot to be right now, and that's why we're seeing most of the leaders keep it up there.
It really is. Turzak just trying to find something different on the bottom. Makes contact with Kyle Adams down the front straightaway. That was really close between those 2 drivers, but able to both keep it straight. They continue on. Meanwhile, Deegan Smith has moved to the inside of Justin Crowe, trying to slide up and clear him. Not able to do it that time by 60 laps complete on to lap number 61. See the slide job here that time by. Not going to work out for Deegan Smith. He's trying to find any speed he can. Meanwhile, the side-by-side battle has opened up the door for Adams.
And we saw Crowe hit the wall a couple laps ago as well. That might hurt him a little bit in this long run if he's got any damage on that car as a result of hitting the wall. We'll see how that plays out here over the next 38 laps. But for now, he's still doing a pretty good job of running that top, although Kyle Adams is increasingly hounding him.
Yeah, Kyle Adams has great speed here at Irwindale. Haven't seen this much out of him at some of our tracks we've been to, but Irwindale seems to be the place to be for that number 24 machine. See him right behind Justin Crowe. Still Deegan Smith on that bottom. Big time loose moment for that 24. Still side by side with Deegan Smith. Smith not going anywhere quickly.
No, they're still looking side by side. Deacon Smith has not gone away. While everybody else continues to run the top, Smith is committed to that bottom, and he might be able to slide up. He will be able to slide up here. Adams is going to try to look low, but he's got a hungry Kyle Turzak on his corner. Adams tries to slide job and puts Deacon Smith into the wall. Neither one of them gets the spot, and this battle is still going for fourth.
Heavy contact between Smith and Adams. You saw Turzak try to go all the way to the bottom. Adams blocked that, rang it high, and then made big contact with Deacon Smith. They've all kept it straight and as clean as they can, but Adams trying to move through, pinches up on that number 15. Then it's Turzak down on the bottom side, but look at this. Adams is going to have it into turn number 1. He's going to have it for fourth. Smith slides it on the bottom side.
Oh, and Adams is loose, and that's going to give Deacon Smith a bit of an opportunity there because the 24 couldn't get the run he wanted out of the corner. Adams is trying to boss Deacon Smith around a little bit, keeping him away from the side of that 24 car, but these two have been leaning on each other for the last 5 or 6 laps now, and it's not quite changing yet. We're still side by side for fourth down into 3.
Well, in the battle in front of them, that has been negative. No one in front of them battling at all. It's Bodie, Dempster, then Crow in this heated battle for fourth between Smith and Adams. And look who it's holding up. This is holding up Turzak. Cannot find his way around these two.
Yeah, and you know Turzak is wishing he was in that top 3 right now, but he just doesn't have a way around this battle. He might be able to get a nose in here on Deacon Smith. We'll see if he's able to get anything here. Yeah, he is. He's fully alongside that 15 car now. So a chance for Kyle Turzak to try to get his way around the other 15 car in the field and get himself a spot in the top 5.
The two 15s battle it out side by side for that 5th spot. But look at here, 2nd through 4th, it's Dempster, Crow, and Adams, all nose to tail.
This battle is heating up front because these guys are getting closer ahead of that battle for 5th. Kyle Adams has a lot of speed in that thing. Don't count him out just yet. Almost a little bit of contact with the bumper of Crow there as they work for 3rd. Bodie still half a second in the lead, but Dempster's going to try to change that.
That was up to 0.7 of a second for Bodie. It is closed down by 0.2 from Cody Dempster. So Dempster slowly closing in on that top spot. But if Crow tries to make a move now, that will definitely slow them down. Look at this awesome view from the fuel tank. This is on board with Cody Dempster looking at Justin Crow. The battle for 2nd.
We're hitting go time. It's 26. It'll be 25 to go here in just a second. 3/4 of the way through this race. Time is running out for these guys to get their way up the field, and you're seeing that. Christian Peterson leaning on Deacon Smith. That's for 6th back there.
Battle for 6th looking especially well. Deacon Smith just falling through this field. Has not had the speed of the other drivers. Christian Peterson trying to work himself back from the back after that contact between him and Crow. And so he's been working himself through. He's all the way up to 7th now and battling for that 6th spot, like you said. Meanwhile, it's Adams and Justin Crow battling for 3rd. Adams still great speed here. Meanwhile, Dempster still trying to hunt down Bodie.
Adams has been trying to make moves on the inside, but he really does not want to actually run the inside. So he's been kind of trying to run the other cars around him up the road a little bit and see if that helps him. Hasn't worked here for Justin Crow, but it was a pretty sizable part in how he was able to get around Deacon Smith. We'll see if he gets another chance to move that 86 closer to the wall here.
Oh, contact between them, Crow into the wall, and checks him up, and Turzak gets Adams around. Caution waves.
Well, he definitely got a chance to get Crow up into the wall there. I just don't think that's the outcome he was envisioning from it.
No, definitely didn't want that to happen because that is probably going to give that 24 an EOL. We're going to have to see if he will claim that caution, but look here, just peeking the nose to the inside, like you said, Sky, just running 1 lane lower, gets into Crow. That gets Crow all messed up, and Adams lifts off, and when he does, Turzak is right there and unable to slow in time.
And I bet this is really going to hurt Terzak in the point standings as well. We saw it on the drivertees.com replay. This is a driver who needs to have first place, second place runs if he wants any hope of closing in on Christian Peterson. He's in last right now after that spin. He might be out of the championship fight here by the time this race is done.
Well, and a driver that would have easily been in first in our championship standings, he's missed about 3 or 4 races here this season. And with Peterson being so consistent, it has put Kyle Terzak back, even though he has those wins. And so this drive, he would have to be in front of Peterson if he wants to fight for this championship at all. And so you'll see drivers here, a lot of them coming into the pit lane. Most of our drivers in this field coming into the pit lane. I think everyone is.
We have one driver, my bad, we do not have any drivers staying out.
I think everyone is there.
Christian Peterson, I think, has stayed out. Christian Peterson and Jake Sylvia.
Yep.
They were the 2 cars that pit on lap 50. They have both stayed out on 30-lap old tires. I thought Terzak might have stayed out, but it was just my ticker lying to me.
Yeah, I saw all my numbers running and the times going, and I swore it was everyone, but Peterson and Sylvia had not yet cycled to the front. We've talked about it so many times, Sky, and we'll talk about it again. Christian Peterson, he has finished in the top 2 4 times here this season and has been unable to get the win. Is tonight the night for him, or will he come up short yet again? Sylvia on that bottom line has been able to get the win 1 time this season, and so it's going to be a battle between drivers that have extreme speed. Green flag flies for Peterson, the control car.
He gets a pretty good jump too, and I think that top line is where you want to be because you're able to get the best run out of the corner. Peterson shows that right there. He's already clear of Sylvia. Cody Dempster tries the complete opposite strategy. He's going all the way down to the apron. He almost got to slide it up, but he got loose. That'll hurt him, and that'll allow Corey Bodie to slide it through on the top to second.
Bodie led a lot of laps here in the second portion of this race. He looks to make a move to the inside of Christian Peterson for this lead. They're going to be side by side on the exit, but Bodie gets loose. Peterson is going to get away with it for now.
And Bodie is on those fresher tires. He just came down pit road. Peterson's trying to make some older rubber last. 15 to go at the line this time for Christian Peterson.
15 laps to go. You'll see Justin Crowe down there on the bottom of Dempster and Sylvia trying to make that work in the battle for third. It's Dempster and Sylvia now singled out side by side, battling for that podium spot. Sylvia, big time loose moment out of turn number 2. And this battle rages on. It will leave Bodie and Peterson left alone to fight.
We're still side by side pretty far throughout the field. Justin Crowe is trying to make some time up on the inside back there as well. And now further up, Jake Sylvia trying to move on Cody Dempster. Contact got him way loose, and now he's stuck in the middle of a 3 wide, going to the back on those old tires.
Yeah, that contact with Dempster got him big time sideways, moved him way back here in this field. It's put him side by side with Terzak, but we remain looking at this battle for the lead. Corey Bodie hounding the back bumper of Christian Peterson. I know Peterson is extremely nervous, wants to get that first win. These top 3 drivers have never, top 4, actually 5, 6, 7, I'm going to keep counting back. The top 6 drivers have never won the Touring Series as caution waves here again. It's Clayton Edwards in the number 2. He was running up in the top 10, almost the top 5, and looks like he had a bit of a moment there on lap 89.
Yeah, this is going to be a little further up the field to get a V-Speed instant replay for you. Clayton Edwards running up the road. He's all the way on the top line when this happens, gets slowed up by Crowe behind, makes contact with the rear end of that 86, gets into Jake Sylvia. Sylvia gets turned, but ultimately keeps it straight.
Man, Edwards was having such a good day in that machine. This is his 5th start of the season. He's had 2 top 10s, was trying to make it 3 here at the end of the day at Irwindale. But oh my goodness, this battle has been heated between the leaders, and I don't know, I'm a little biased. I have been so ready for Christian Peterson to get a win. He has deserved it. He has fought so hard, but he's got a driver behind him who is also hungry. Corey Bodie has never won as well, and he has been strong here at Irwindale. And I'm going to keep going down the list. Dempster has never won. Adams, one of the owners at the Misfit Racing League, he has never gotten a win. Justin Crowe has never either. So these top 5 have never won in the touring series, and so I know that all of them are extremely hungry.
Yeah, and the guy right behind him, Kyle Turzak, he's at 7 on the year. He's got enough wins for everybody in this top 5. You know he's going to be hungry to get himself up there. With only about 6 to go when we take this green flag, he is going to be driving it, or he is going to be wrecking it.
I would have to agree with you. I think Turzak is definitely going to want to be hungry because he needs to finish in front of that 171 of Peterson if he wants to have any battle at all in that championship fight. Meanwhile, Justin Crowe having a continued consistent day, trying to finish here within that top 5, maybe get on the podium and battle with Dempster. It'll be Dempster on the inside of Christian Peterson. Lights are off on the pace car. When we come back to green, it'll be 7 laps remaining here and the race at Irwindale. And again, so important for these championship points for that 171, the 86, and the 15 of Turzak. Who will come out on top at the end of the laps? 7 to go when we come across the line, side by side for Peterson and Dempster.
And it's a checkup on the inside that'll give a great jump to Peterson, who is exactly where he wants to be on that high line. Still working one spot behind him on the top. He's got Corey Bodie, who's led so much of this race, and still looking on the inside, trying to make a slide job is Cody Dempster. A little bit of contact. That outside line's working better right now with 6 to go.
Man, that almost got Peterson really messed up. Dempster was within a hair of getting Peterson turned around, but that battle between them has let Peterson get away with it for the moment. Almost 4/10 of a second. Corey Bodie trying to battle and get up there. We cross the stripe, 5 laps to go.
And look at Turzak, he's got it up to 5th. He's trying to come, but I don't think he's got enough time to do it. Because it's Peterson, it's Bodie, Dempster, Crowe up here in the top 4 as they battle behind him, trying to get for 3rd. Peterson's doing a good job to defend this lead on his old tires. Will Bodie have a last-second charge, or will Christian Peterson hold on? 4 to go.
4 laps remaining here. It's Christian Peterson. He's been hunting a win so long, but Bodie right there ready for the taking. It has to be mistake-free for that 171 of Peterson. All single filed out for the top 7 now. Is there any time left for Bodie? When we come around again, it'll be 2 laps remaining.
Yeah, we're gonna hit 2 to go. Look at Crowe. He's trying to get it on the bottom, but he can't. Turzak up to P4. He's gonna be challenging for a spot on the podium if he can get around Cody Dempster. But he doesn't have enough time to get his way up to the top 2. So look at this big move for Bodie down to the inside. It's not gonna work. Christian Peterson leads him to the white flag.
White flag one more time around. Big moment for Bodie between him and Dempster. That's going to send him back, but it's all about Christian Peterson out front. 9 top 5s, 9 top 10s, 4 times he's finished runner-up. But tonight, it's the first time win here in the Touring Series.
Christian Peterson, after 17 races, finally gets it done at Irwindale.
Oh my gosh, I know he is pumping his fist, so elated, and I gotta wonder what happened to Corey Bodie there on that last lap. A lot of drivers coming and giving congratulatory bumps to that 171. So many drivers just knowing he has been so deserving of this victory, and he gets to come here on the front stretch and burn it down. I can tell you that he is elated. He'll continue to celebrate, and we'll get to talk to him tonight. We've talked to him a lot here this season, but finally we get to talk to him from the top step. We're going to send it to a commercial break, and we'll get right back with results and the interviews from the top 3. what a race it was, and comes out on top. It's Christian Peterson. I think me and Sky were talking about it under the break. I think IRWINDALE produced 2 of some of our best races of the season. We'll have to come back here over in Season 3 of the Touring Series. We'll get to our results. Peterson finally up on the top step, and then it's Cody Dempster, Kyle Turzak in your top 3. Then it's Corey Bodie. He was battling for so long with Peterson. He led early on, but with a last lap moment, he finishes right off the podium. It was Kyle Adams getting his first top 5 of the season. Then it was Justin Crowe, Mr. Consistent, but he finishes outside of the top 5. Not as good as he would have liked. Then it's Deegan Smith, Jake Sylvia, Trevor Ward, and Jake Kraut rounding out the top 10.
And rounding out the rest of your field tonight, P11 will be Alex Hallinar. Further back from them, P12, Clayton Edwards, Anthony Yankello, 13th, Bob Belshaw, 14th, John Leday, Teddy Wisniewski did not take the green flag tonight.
They did not take the green flag. We had 7 cautions tonight, 6 different lead changes, but we're going to talk to Christian Peterson. We've talked to him so many times, but we finally get to talk to you first. Christian Peterson, I got to start with it. How does it feel, my man?
It feels good. Feels good, definitely. Especially when I was not expecting it. It was like the one I was not expecting, so hey.
Really? Tell me about
Yeah.
that. I mean, we've seen you so dominant here. We've seen you so close to the wins. You've been so consistent all throughout the season. Why didn't you think it was going to come tonight?
I just thought I set up for the wrong lane. I mean, at the beginning there, I couldn't make a move on the bottom to save my life, so just kind of got lucky and maybe a little bit unlucky with Crow and me and Crow's contact there in the middle of the race, and then it sent me down pit road to get tires and lucked out with a strategy call, I guess. So yeah, I don't know.
It was an excellent strategy call. Talk to me about those last 5 laps. Started on the outside, found that was the lane that was working for you. You had Corey Bodie right behind you. He led a ton of laps today. Tell me what your mindset was in those last 5 laps.
I knew Bodie was fast, but I knew he would run me clean. And once we got through that first little stint there when they had new tires, he didn't get by me. I knew I was kind of set. I was just more worried about that last start with less laps to go and just people getting more aggressive on the bottom and trying to clear people. And but it all worked out. So.
Well, this is going to move you up continually in those championship standings. As you know, you are at the top of the charts and you finish above your closest contenders. And so you will gain on the lead. How does it make you feel that you have a huge run to win this championship?
Yeah, I mean, it just feels good to get a win, you know. I can try to be consistent all year and win a championship, but it wouldn't really feel complete without a win. So a couple more races to go. We'll try to finish strong like we are, like we're doing now.
Hey, you've crossed a wall that you could not cross before, and I think it might open some doors for more wins in the future. Before I let you go tonight, Christian, anyone you would like to thank?
Yeah, just everybody at Skyline, all the stuff you guys do to put on the show, and Kyle and all the MRL for putting this thing on.
Well, congratulations, man. You deserve it. Go celebrate.
Thanks, guys.
Christian Peterson, first win of the season, and one driver coming up 1 spot short was Cody Dempster. He's with Sky Shrek.
Hey, Cody, got a copy?
Yes, sir.
You brought it home second. What more do you think you could have done to get yourself up to the lead?
I think honestly on that 5 to go restart, I just didn't run too right. I knew if I could be side by side with him down the backstretch and into 3, I could have cleared him off of 3. But once he got wound up, it was just so hard to beat him. So really, it was that restart that is what we needed. That's just kind of the way that IRWINDALE race is. Pretty true to life here tonight. With the front guys, once they get wound up, it's so hard to beat them deeper in the field. You're able to actually move because people are on top of each other and everything like that. But the front few guys, once they're wound up, it's just so hard to clear a pass.
All right, well, tell me about that accident there with Bodie on the white flag lap. What was your kind of take on that?
Entirely miscalculated on my part. He tried to make a move down into 3. Came up the track just so low a mile an hour, and he was slowly shifting up, and as he was shifting up, I was getting ready to shift down. I was just trying to time it to where I could just make it an arc into one, and I just mistimed it and caught bumpers with him. It's
Gotcha.
entirely on me. Just a
All right.
miscalculation of speed.
Terzak behind you was on a charge up from the back. How much were you focused on catching the top two versus trying to hold Terzak off behind you?
I was more, eyes out front. I don't think Terzak ever really got close enough to be a threat there at the end. He had good speed, but he could never get close enough to try and throw a slider and try and clear me. So it was more eyes out front than worrying about what's out back.
Gotcha. All right. Anyone you want to thank or shout out tonight?
You guys put on this awesome broadcast. I'm sure it was probably a hell of a broadcast just with the slide or die moves that were going on. And then all of Emerald staff and RKM for bringing a bad piece again.
All right. Congrats on second place tonight, Cody Dempster.
Thank you.
While we were talking to him, I think Scott has caught back up with our third place finisher tonight. That'd be Kyle Terzak.
Yeah, Kyle, we're normally talking to you from the top step tonight. You come home in third. Tell me what more you needed on this night. You qualified on the pole. You worked through all the way back towards the lead. You got up to second before you had gotten caught in some incidents.
Yeah, it's just bad luck. I had a really fast 15 RKM car, but it's just, I just kind of get involved with those incidents, which was unfortunate. But, I had a fun time, racing. You could choose both lines. I felt like I was better on the bottom, but you couldn't really pass there. So I kind of set up my car up for the top towards the end. When we took those tires right there, I made some adjustments for the top, and they kind of worked right there. I was faster than Cody, I believe. I was gaining on him a little bit, but I just knew I ran out of time. And, in terms of points, that wasn't really a good finish for me because the guy who's leading it won. So, but it's his first win. Christian has been putting in all that work, and he finally got him one. So, congrats to him. And we take this P3 and go on to next week, and just I think I don't really know if really have a shot at the points anymore, so I'm just gonna go out there and win as much as possible. So I can't thank Ryan for the setup enough. All the boys back at RKM, we got most of them in the top 10. Yeah.
Well, it's always fun to watch you race. It's so awesome to watch the shows that you're able to put on. I think you summed it up really well. I don't know if you'll be able to fight for it. I think it'll be very close when we've got 2 races left at Thompson and Langley, but I'm so glad that we always get to come and watch you here. I've got a question for you. Are you going to be able to run the summer series with the super late models this summer?
Oh, absolutely. I run Sarah with Andrew and Pit Stop TV. So I love the super. It's just sometimes it can be a little frustrating with how the tires are and the tire physics, but the super's a pretty good car in my terms, but it's just summer series, I think that we'll have a good shot there, and with more prizes on the line, I think definitely we get more cars, and hopefully we get more than 30 a week. And that's the goal. So we'll be running.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I get to call some of the Sarah things sometimes when Zach isn't free on those Thursday nights with Andrew Cardinale. It's always awesome to watch you battle, whether it be a late model stock or a super. We're going to be excited to see you in the summer series, but I cannot forget that we've got 2 more. Before I let you go tonight, Kyle, anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank Adams for putting this on. Kyle Adams, that is. You guys for the broadcast, good as always. Arcane Sub Shop had one bad fast 15, just a little bit of luck would put us on there. Crosham Shots and Terzak Racing on Facebook.
Well, always good to talk to you, man. Can't wait to see you next week.
Thank you.
Kyle Terzak rounds out your podium here tonight at Irwindale, and oh my gosh, what a race it was here from the Speedway. Oh my gosh, Sky always puts on a good one. Give me your final thoughts on this race tonight.
That was probably my favorite race that we've had in the MRL all season. There was constant battles, 2, 3 wide. Cars were using it, basically anything that was paved, and then some of the grass trying to make overtakes. I mean, it was awesome. That was the best race we've had all season.
I thought it was absolutely excellent. I loved every moment of it. Getting a call with you is always a pleasure. And man, Christian Peterson gets his first win of the season. I know I've been a little bit biased this season, but when I see someone finish in second 4 or 5 times, have tumultuous top 5s and top 10s, it's someone that I'm definitely rooting for to cross that boundary and get that win. Because as we know, Sky, sometimes when drivers get their first win, it gives them that confidence to do things that they could never do before.
Yeah, and Christian Peterson did a great job to extend his championship lead tonight, looking into the next 2 races. I think he's got a really good shot to bring it home now after that win.
I think he does as well. 2 more races left. We'll go to Thompson Motor Speedway next weekend, March 1st. That'll be at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be fun. It is going to be an excellent race. Your thoughts on Thompson, Scott?
I think it's going to be a really fun one. It's not a track that I'm super familiar with, but I think it's going to be a good race. It looks really interesting. One of the more high-banked tracks that we're going to go to this season, and some of those high-banked tracks like Nashville Fairgrounds earlier put on a pretty good show, so I'm excited.
Yeah, track I would say is very similar to how cars will drive at New Smyrna, but we'll go there next week, and it's going to be a great one. That's going to do it for us all here tonight at V-Speed. For Kyle Adams and Jake Sylvia at Misfit Productions, for Bradley Cooper at V-Speed, for Eddie Smith at production, and for my colleague in the booth, Sky Shrek, my name is Scott Shive, and we'll see you next week at Thompson.